Stone, and today we're going to be cutting out a 16 up business card template on an 1117 on the EVA 485 EP, so the electric programmable cutter, and I'm actually going to show you how to input the steps to cutting out this template. So what we're going to do now is we're going to input our first few dimensions into our programmer. We have this template set up nice and easy with even numbers. It'll make your process when setting up your own templates, try to make things nice and easy. It's going to make it a lot easier when you get to the paper cutting process. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off our first lead trim here, which is set up to 3/4 of an inch. So this is on a 17-inch sheet of paper. So our first cut that we're going to input into our programmer is going to be 16.25. So we'll input our first cut at 16.25. We're going to enter. So now we're on to our second cut. This is where we're going to take advantage of the multi-cut function on the programmer, which is going to speed up your process and allow you guys to produce business cards in a more efficient manner. What we're going to do is on our template here, we know that we have 1/2 inch bleeds. We know our finished document size is 3.5 inches. So what we're going to tell the programmer to do is we're going to tell the programmer to take the finished size and then the gutters. So our gutters are 1/2 inch plus the 3.5, which gives us a nice even number of 4. So I'm going to put this into the programmer that I want it to take cuts of 4 inches. So I've got 4 inches here. We're going to multi-cut this once, twice, 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 times. And then we're going to spin our documents around and we're actually going to cut them off at the 3.5 inches. So we'll spin everything around and then we'll lop off the bottom part here. So it'll make it to 3.5. Plus that'll include taking off all the gutters we're taking with our finished size document. So let's enter that in. Now I'm going to put our final size on this to 3.5. And I know this might be confusing, so we'll do a step process of what we just input so you guys can see how we've programmed this. Okay, so we're going to make our first cut here. We've got our digital cut line light. It's lining up nicely with our crop marks. So we can close our lid and we'll make our first cut at 16.25. Now, as I was speaking about the multi-cut function, it's going to advance this automatically 4 inches. So that's again our finished document size plus our bleed gutter marks here. So we're going to cut those off at the end, so we'll get to that here. So ensuring that you've jogged your paper. We'll advance it again. Okay, now we're doing this with a single sheet for our setup purpose. When you're actually cutting this, you'll probably cut this with anywhere from 5 to 7 flat sheets, which will allow you to do a box of business cards efficiently in about 5 to 7 minutes. So finish our cuts here. Okay. So this is getting to our final size, and you're wondering where or why we were cutting off all the gutters. So here's where they're all going to come out as our even finish size. So as you can see, we're jogging everything up. Okay, so this is going to get us down to our final finish size of 3.5 inches. So we now have nice even strips of 3.5 inches wide. Now we're going to do the same cut process, but we're going to reverse it by going it on our lengthwise and cutting out our bleeds and then doing our final trim. So we'll set that next part into the programmer now. Take our pre-cut 3.5 inch sheets and we're going to actually put them into our cutter here, and we're going to program to cut off our side trim, take our finished size plus our 1/2 inch gutters all the way down just like we did with the 3.5 inch length side. So we'll program that in. So taking a 1/4 or 3/4 of an inch off of our 11 inch sheet leaves us with a 10.25. So we'll enter that. Now we're going to do the multi-cut function once again, but this time using the 2-inch side plus the 1/2-inch gutter. So 2.5, we want to tell our cutter to move or advance each time. So we want to do this once, twice, 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And then our final document size is 2 inches. So we'll do our final cut at 2 inches, and we will complete a stack of business cards. So let's get ourselves set to this step. Jogging is, of course, an important aspect when cutting. It'll be a lot more straightforward when you have a larger stack. I'm stacking smaller sheets here. So we'll make sure you have your jogging block out of the way, of course. So we've taken our side trim off, and now we're going to do our automatic advance of our finished side of 2 inches and our gutter of a 1/2 inch. Okay, always ensuring in between cuts to keep everything straight. Okay. Okay. So I have all these 2.5-inch sheets now, nice and even. And then we're going to spin this around to make our final cut at 2 inches. So we'll get our cutter to advance. And we are making our final cut to get rid of our bleeds and gutters. Okay. Again, having a larger pile height will allow you to jog those a lot easier. So we'll make our final cut. And now we have all finished business cards that will be accommodating to your bleeds.